got ourselves buff arms off the bat versus Chills. This man literally running around on his nuclear rocket. Love this. Love the model for this thing, man. I wish there was something you could actually get besides just the, what is the recruiter friend thing. Chilpa's looking to just absolutely savage buff arms. Went in for the avatar, trying to get some damage going. Second Blaze Storm to follow just to escape the Death Knight. And Chilpa's is going to have to slow down here a little bit. It looks like buff arms is the one on the counter offensive. As soon as Chilpa's cooldowns are down, he's perfectly fine, just like, you know what, now we're gonna play. Now I wanna play. I got better sustain than you. I can out sustain you. Disarm, Chills with a stun, grips in buff arms just to get a couple of hits here and there. Big bleeds out for buff arms. The sustained damage of an arms warrior between the bleeds overpowers and massive mortar strikes versus Chilpa's hit and run playstyle. Yeah, there's definitely a difference there. Are you playing the Death and Decay that slows him by any chance? Is that what the Death and Decay is there for? Because he keeps throwing out Death and Decay, but like, it's got to be a reason, unless he just wants to keep him in combat for... actually, second one will probably do it. Lichborn, Chilpa's not in a great spot, trying to see if he can get a stun onto buff arms, got himself a reflect, maybe won't be enough. Parry is up, does get a full-on stun. What is it, Dab of the Sword provides him plenty of DR. Blind by Chills, trying to see if he can pick up a little bit more health. He may be looking at a death pack right here. He's in an execute range, trying to see if he can survive this. Stun onto buff, the man does not have a trick anymore. There goes the death pack, and Chilpa's needs to make the next go count. As long as there's some dots on the buff arms, he cannot get any benefit from second one, and that means Chills has to get aggressive. Otherwise, buff, as you can see right here, starting to heal back up to full. Chills needs a proper stun, will not be able to get it while Blaze Storm is active, trying to see if he can catch up for that Remorseless, will not be able to stack it up unless he gets a proper stun, maybe with Strangulate. And he doesn't even have cooldowns either for a while. AMS is up, maybe he can delay some of the damage. He's actually able to with that Fairlat Legendary. Death and Decay down for buff, as the man is just in a top-notch spot. I don't know what you could do in this situation. I think it might be, lights out for the Death Knight. Actually, nothing you could do in that moment, man. That is a rough. Warrior versus DK. The consistent damage plus burst versus hit and runs, and not much of consistency as Frost. There just isn't any, man. There just isn't any. As buff is out in the open, stun up by Willing to Buy Jungle. Man's got himself plenty of distance into a disengage, but the stun stops him halfway through. Dead Chakram is in. As buff arms does not have defenses for this one, so it's got to be actually a little bit more of a kiting play for Willing to Buy Jungle. Man leaping away, got himself parry back up, so he should be okay. But I think for the most part, he's going to wait out the coordinator, so try to see if he can avoid it. Getting hit by the pet and a couple of bleeds, couple of dots. Not the worst. Getting hit by the hunter with those kill shots. That is deadly, especially if he can land a couple of crits there. That's going to be reflect for a moment in case there's more traps. He's got himself parry. He's going to activate it. Willing to Buy Jungle may need to land up kind of a freezing trap right now to disengage away from the guy. Got himself big defenses. More traps are down, but buff arms not trying to stay in. Actually going to kind of end up baiting Jungle near the pillar where he could stun him, maybe lock him down. The Blaze Storm still taking so much damage. Needs a heal in this moment. Got to trick it back up. Warlock has to use really early. Reflect is up in case there's a trap waiting for him. Fear to fall, at least able to lock down the hunter for just a second. Get himself a bit of clean damage. Focusing on the pet, actually. Can you kill that pet? You might be able to. I think if you kill the pet, don't you reset the... I think you reset your self-heal, right? I think, maybe, hopefully. Jungle goes for a bit of a reset himself. Freezing trap waiting. Does need to get the pet up and running, but a Stormbolt is waiting for him. Unless you just go for a camo. Unless you're just gonna go for a camo. I actually think camo may not be the worst. Actually, yes, it would be. Second wind. Try to get a whole new pet. Probably gonna be a camo. If buff arms doesn't have any dots in him, it's gonna be second wind and he's gonna be able to top himself. What is keeping you dotted? What is keeping you dotted? Okay, second wind finally kicking in. The pet not attacking you yet. Now it goes for him for a stun. Jungle swings around the corner. Still has the freezing trap. Waiting for a perfect setup with a freezing trap on the Stormbolt. But the explosive shot doesn't end up breaking it. Another trap would reflect that this one. Death Chakram is in. Buff arms backing up out of there. He's going to wait out the Death Chakram for as much as possible. He needs a heal. Parry's available. Does use a parry, but this kill shots cannot be parried. Man is under a ton of pressure. But the next stun, next combo he could do on Jungle might be able to take him. Just a couple of dots around the corner. Jungle being very, very careful. Next stun with Avatar may be the end of the man. Buff arms just needs to be very, very careful. Picking up one more impending victory off of that little Rapture thing. Is that a Rapture? Saurid? I think it is a Saurid. I think it is a Sauron stun on the freezing trap for jungle. That is a trick and available. At least got himself a bit of survivability buff. Needs to either close the gap or get the hell out of dodge. At the very least, there's no pet for jungle. And the man is silenced. Revive pet is out. Trying to see if he can disrupt it. Does not get you. Reflect is up for any of the fusion traps. Fear to follow. Does not have a stun. Maybe a blaze storm. Might be enough right here. Jungle with a turtle. Got himself enough survivability to live. This trap's getting laden all around the pillar. And Buff Arm is able to catch up quite a bit of health actually off that one. Stun. Is this enough? Double execute. Big bleed. It's over. It is over. It is done, with Knight gonna be up next as a Windwalker. Got himself some mobility, trying to swing around. Big jab onto Tagapom. I keep calling them jabs. They're Tagapoms. But I'm so used to that ability actually being called jab, like back in Pandarium. Does anybody else do that? Like when they used to call an ability a certain thing, like Hand of Freedom versus Blessing of Freedom? Right now I'm pretty sure it's called... It's one or the other, but I'm so used to calling these things blessings. It is going to be a couple of kicks out of Knight, stun to follow. Buff Arms picking up just a little bit more health. Parry up right after. Got himself nothing to work with. A karma would just end him right now, but at the very least, the parry is keeping him kind of survivable. The monk is not going to let you go anywhere unless you got maybe a fear. You just need someone to chain CC on the guy while staying away from him, because maybe you can get that second win. It is gaining value. Every second that passes, second win gains immense value. Mount up for Knight. He doesn't want to find out what's going to happen. The man is recovering. Look at him not fighting. Look at him just evading this monk. It's actually, it's probably like, oh man, why is he running from the guy? He's literally healing. Arms Warriors knows two things, either violence or healing, and Knight is like, you know what, at this point, I'm just gonna let him heal. We actually move at the same speed. He's not gonna run after. He's not gonna let me catch him. Unless Knight starts burning a bunch of mobility just to try to disrupt second win. It's like, once it's going, it's over. It is over. Disarm on the Warrior for just second fear to follow. Both arms back it up out of there for the Zuen and Serenity. I guess that is quite a bit of cooldowns that he's like, you know what, I don't want to do it. I don't want to deal with those. I'm gonna wait him out. Hold on a second. Just going for a stroll. Just going for a run. I love how big mounts get when you have out to roll it in. As he got himself Blaze Storm for the most part. Again, trying to avoid Knight. Got himself a bleed on the guy. And is avoiding Pacifier while the bleeds are doing work. Brand, Moral Strike, as well as Dragon's Roar are doing work on their own. Stun. One execute. Needs a second one. And there it goes. No karma off of that one. I guess maybe the guy thought, you know what? I can live one more execute. I can really just clutch it. And maybe just hit her a little too hard. Tier got himself full Shadow Blades. Eye being picked up by Buff Arms. Main to go for parry immediately. Unless he can lock him out on back-to-back stuns. Massive hits. Turns to the rogue. There goes the parry. Charging up. Catches up to the guy. And I think you should be able to see him, right? He still sees you. He still sees you. Picked up the eye. There goes the blind. So for Tier, he did have to commit 2 vanishes? I'm sorry? Wait, did he actually double vanish this? That seems like a lot of vanishes. Maybe I'm wrong, right? Maybe it's not enough vanishes, but that seems like a lot of vanishes for one guy. And Buff Arms, actually, look at him, not gonna burn his Zerkers. Unless you already burned Zerkers. Nah, click Karma, didn't apply to my... Oh, is that what happened? Okay. I'm gonna assume this is a Frostmourne, a bit of that MS, right? Because at that point, like, at that point, I think that would probably be a decent explanation. And so on, yeah, I feel you, Dad. I feel you, man. Filler Hump Abuse kind of late, to be honest. Yo, the guy is trying to win, right? He's trying to stay away from the monk as best as he can. He's mounting up as the monk is mounting up. He's trying to use whatever ability he's got. He needs a second with healing, right? He's got 2 options, honestly, as a warrior. Walk in and then die, or stay away and live. Tier just step into Wortho DK trying to escape the warrior, but the Stormbolt locking him in. 1 execute, overpowered to follow, got him so sippy, cheating death, cheap shot to follow, his last chance, but the warrior trinkets it just to land that last execute to bring down the hand of God against the yellow class. What is happening? Oh my goodness. You know what? Yellow class, I feel like aptly can describe rogues to some degree, because that is the color scheme that they gave us, is like when it comes to class color choices. But also yellow, oh man, Arthur just take him out. Yellow sometimes being like an adjective or whatever to describe somebody else like cowardly. And I feel like a lot of the non-rogue players would agree that rogues are fairly cowardly, right? A lot of you, I think, would agree. Big Ivan to follow as Mel. Looking to rock the man's world, leap it out, got him some big blade dance. Oh yeah, that's over. It is over. The Demon Hunter is running this show. Unless Worth can somehow live it, there's just no way. At this high dampening, there's just no shot. I love your mug though. That looks so good. I look so good. The beard. That looks great. Man, yeah. If Warthros did not have to play into like giga dampening, literally in the pitfalls of society of dampening itself, right? I feel like it might have been a little bit more of an even match because they did pretty good there. But yeah, there's just not much you can heal off of. That's the life of a Death Knight, man. Let's get another one going.